Lights, camera, action. Hello, guys and girls. Welcome to tonight's live stream as I continue the special spooky Halloween themed streams for the month. Tonight, I'm going to be watching a cult classic, Carnival of Souls. Very surreal, trippy horror movie from the 60s, which I'm pretty sure is a big favourite of David Lynch's, and I think you can definitely tell influence Lynch's style, and it's one of the most unsettling but also very surreal and stylistic horror movies I've ever seen. So it's a true original, I think it's fair to say. I've got my special edition Criterion DVD at the ready. So yeah, I'll start in a minute. I'll just give people a minute or two, see if they show up. It's not a long movie, which is sort of good. It's just under an hour and a half, so pretty short. For those who haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But yeah, drop by, anyone who wants. Let me know what you've been doing today. Movies. There will be at least 2 more, movie streams this month. Gonna be doing Final Destination 3 on a stream. And then, of course, you've got the big Halloween stream, which should be The Exorcist. That's the plan for that night. Although I had thoughts of maybe also doing Halloween, the original Halloween. I think that would be a great double bill. So, but we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely going to do The Exorcist that night. But okay. So, and the sitcom stream was a good idea. I thought last night that was pretty good fun. So that's up now. Me watching some Halloween sitcom episodes. Did Parks and Rec, The Office, and Community last night, so you can check out that stream if you missed it. I might do another one of those before the month is out. Had a couple of suggestions last night, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make a start on the film. Here we go, Carnival of Souls. 3, 2, 1, and go. That sure is a 60s hat. I find it's pretty warm for October, for later October. I don't know if it's just because I'm in a small flat and when you've had the heating on, tends to get a bit too warm. But yeah, it's been a pretty warm month. Surprising. Nice opening there, just sort of throws you into the action. And then we get the title come up. She goes over the bridge into the water. Candace Hilgos. Great leading lady name. Sort of wonder if she did anything else, because she's really good in this. Sort of has to lead the film. This would definitely make a great double bill with Night of the Living Dead. Both from the same decade as well. And of course, Night of the Living Dead was later in the 60s, so chances are it was very much influenced by this film. Has the feel of like one long Twilight Zone episode, this one. That organ music gives me chills. Would love to see this at the cinema. Um, a midnight screening would be perfect. Of course, there's a mystery film coming up at my local cinema on Halloween, so there's a possibility this might well be it. 7:30 that night, unfortunately, so not quite the same effect if it was this film, but still would be a great choice. I think it's also like the look of the small working class town and the portrayal of like the characters and the surroundings, which I think you can sort of see was a big influence on Lynch. The scene when she's walking over the bridge at the start, I mean, that could almost be like the scene out of Twin Peaks. I love like the POV shots from like the back of the car and stuff. Makes you wish modern cities looked like that, really. You know, a good old billboard. You can't really beat it. I'm assuming some modern cities still use them, but don't see it enough. She just looks like a very spooky lady, even though she's like very vulnerable and things as well. I think that's what's great about her. Looks a bit like Gene Hackman, this gas attendant. Little lady. Hey, Anthony. How are you today? I was wondering who the first person to break their silence would be. I've seen a few people pop up. Yeah, yeah, not bad, thanks. Yeah, this is a cult classic. Very 60s. I was saying before you could play it on a double bill with Night of the Living Dead, um, and they would make a great double bill. I mean, if you've seen any David Lynch films, definitely you can see a lot of this in his films as well. It's a trip. Not too much, just a little bit. Like Blue Velvet, The Elephant Man, Twin Peaks, Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, etc. Yeah. Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, he's an acquired taste. He's one of those directors you're either gonna like love or you just won't get. Basically, he's an all or nothing director, really. But those are some of the best directors. Yeah, I mean, for Lynch, that's a more human sort of film, but you can still see his style in it as well. Right. Do you mean Eraserhead, which was Lynch's first film? Razorhead. Oh, maybe you do mean Razorhead. Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Razorhead, that does sound like a good movie as well. Sounds like a good slasher. Yeah, Eraserhead's a great film. One of the great ever debuts. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Been watching a good documentary series actually called The Movies, which has been going through each decade of American films and kind of looking at them and some of the themes of them and connections, and it's good. I mean, it's one of those where that they've only got an hour each part, so they kind of rush through each film quite quickly. But you get a good sense of them and some good, talking heads. Well, I would say either the 70s or the 40s, like the original golden age of Hollywood, or obviously the more art house sort of 70s. Um, but a decade where you got some sort of groundbreaking blockbusters as well. Um, Obviously, a lot of people, it's kind of when they grew up. Because obviously for me, I first remember films from the 80s and obviously 90s. So those are the years I have nostalgia for. But then again, just looking at it, I think the 70s or the 40s might have been the best decade for film overall. Yeah, it might be nostalgia, or I think when it comes to like 70s or the 40s, the only people with nostalgia might be the people who lived through them. Whereas in a way, there's big nostalgia for the 80s right now, whether you live through it or not. Yeah, 90s is an odd decade, I think, for film because there was a lot of distinct, ambitious like films out in the 90s, but also it feels oddly dated. Um, a lot of those movies maybe haven't stood the test of time, and it's just a, it's, oh yeah, but I don't think you have that problem with films from other decades. I don't think generally films from the 80s have dated. Um, I think the storytelling from the 80s was much better, for example. Um, I think also with the 90s, apart from some of the more artier movies later in the 90s, there wasn't a distinct style in a way. Whereas I think with an 80s movie, you put it on and you normally can tell it's from the 80s. Similar with, other decades. But yeah, 90s is an interesting time for the film. Yeah, maybe. But do you just mean most 90s films were set in that decade? There weren't as many films that were like period pieces, for example. Is that what you mean? Bloody hell, a light flashed in the background. That was freaky. Yeah, maybe. I can sort of see that. I'm not sure how easy this film is for you to find Anthony online, but you should check it out. It'll freak the shit out of you. Yeah, true. Certainly, the story of Home Alone feels like it's an 80s movie. The whole sort of family type vibe it has. Mm, I'm not sure about Edward Scissorhands. I think that does feel quite 90s. 90s, 80s in a way, I would say. I mean, it definitely holds up now. It's definitely a timeless film, but yeah, that's true. It might depend on when you grew up. Yeah, Burton films were, of course, brought up in the episode tonight, 90s. I need to rewatch Ed Wood, actually. I've not seen it for years. People say it's Burton's best film. I remember liking it, but it's been a long time. And of course, Juliet Landell's in it, which gives it bonus points already. Yeah, it wasn't as good as the original, but yeah, it was still pretty good. Hey, Space Ranger, how's it going? Burton's one of those directors. He suffered from having too much money, and it's like his reputation. It's like, can you give me another Tim Burton, but with more money? And it's taken like the heart and soul out of his films. Yeah, I've seen The Corpse Bride. I like that one. The Burton film I haven't seen for ages is Mars Attacks, because I remember not liking it that much, but a lot of people rave about that one, so I should go back and watch it. No, no, Grinch wasn't. I mean, there's been quite a few versions of that. Um, Probably, if you're thinking of the Jim Carrey one, that was Ron Howard. Yeah, not bad, thanks, Space Ranger. Oh, this guy is such a sleaze. He's got the oily hair as well. Makes him even more creepy. Um, I remember not being that keen on it, Anthony. I think the Boris Karloff '60s Grinch is the best one. Okay. I'm not even sure I've seen it all the way through. I think I might have done once. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but Kerry doing his comedy stick doesn't really do it for me normally. Oh yeah, torture me, why don't you? Yeah, I think the problem is that sort of comedy, it needs to be like reined in a film. Otherwise, it just gets like exhausting. It's the sort of because he's a really good physical comedian. I can't deny that. Um, but it's the sort of comedy that normally works better in like a Saturday Night Live skit. So I think in a movie you need like a good script and like a director to really rein it in. Um, Depends on the movie. I mean, I really like Cable Guy, and I think that's a good example where it's like a black comedy and his kind of manic persona works really well for it. Um, the Mask is fun as well, but again, because he's sort of partly a supernatural type character, sort of works. Liar Liar's not bad, um, but I sort of prefer his dramatic work in a way. I think I think the Truman Show and Internal Sunshine are like masterpieces. This guy just never quits, does he? Man in the Moon's very underrated as well. Yeah, yeah, I enjoy that movie. I've still not seen the series. I hear the series is good. Oh, okay. That's interesting. A lot of people, I think, have the opposite view. I think they prefer the series. I love when movies and TV makes department stores just so creepy and eerie. Which I kind of get. It's sort of like the claustrophobia of them. I was going to make another point there. I can't remember what it is. Um, a lot of bad ones too, and a lot of mediocre ones. There's probably more in between movies in a way, middle ground movies, than there are great and bad ones. I think more movies than not kind of fall in the middle. But yeah, maybe do. I can't remember the point I was gonna make. It depends on expectations, you know, because if you go and see a film from one of your favorite directors, it's like you go in expecting it or wanting it to be really, really great. Um, Whereas if you go and see a film where you don't know much about it, you've never seen a film from that director, and you don't have that much expectations. If it's like, like a 6 out of the 10 or something, you probably think, yeah, that's a pretty decent film, compared to what I expected. Or if you go in expecting to hate a film and you actually think, yeah, that's pretty solid. The recent one, yeah, I thought that was okay actually. A lot of people shit on that movie, but I didn't mind it too much. I thought the style of it was pretty good. Hmm. I think Will Smith was the highlight of that film. I guess the cast were pretty good in general, but it didn't really do it for me. Then again, you saw it in the cinema, so that might have made a difference. I just saw it on a computer. Hogwash. That is such a 1960s word. Amphinim thinks The Grinch is a good movie. Hogwash. Well, a lot of people would back you up on that. Yeah, I probably will. But it's no Carnival of Souls, I'll say that. But we'll definitely do some fun Christmas family type watches. I think we'll probably do Nightmare Before Christmas for sure. Home Alone as well. Gremlins. That'll be a good one to do as well. Yeah, could do. I'm not a massive fan of that. Um, I like I enjoyed it at the cinema, but I think at the time it's because I was such a big Tim Burton fan. And it was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer, Tim Burton doing that film. Yeah, the original's better, I think. But yeah, I enjoyed the remake. And it was quite different too. Yeah, this movie is so trippy. And now I've got the Gremlins theme in my head. Down and down 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 do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, one of my favourite Buffy episodes. I think it's the only Christmas episode they did as well. I don't remember another one. I've done it on the stream before, but yeah, I could do it again. Yeah, true. Something about fairgrounds are that really spooky. Deserted fairgrounds, especially. Oh, this fucking guy, man. Kick him in the balls. Oh, slick. You're so cold. That's why I brought you the coffee. You on Twitter, by the way, Amphinin? Because if you are, you can follow me on there. Hypnotic is the word. Oh, Black Christmas as well. At Christmas would be another great Christmas watch. The original, of course. Oh, shut up, you old geezer. Yeah, brilliant. He just fired her, and then he's accusing her of turning her back on the church. I guess he's worn her down through boredom, maybe. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's a good film. I'm a bit tired, so but no, it's a good film. I mean, obviously, streams when people are watching along are better, but there you go. Should be Final Destination 3, the next one, which I was going to mention before I left. I thought you might. Such a sensitive soul. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be better than number 2. It should be. Hmm. Maybe. It's the one with Mary Elizabeth Winstead in. Is that the amusement park one? Okay, there you go. Well, it's Glenn Morgan and James Wong back again, working on it. They wrote and directed the first film, so should be a return to form. The first film was originally an idea for the X-Files. I only found that out recently. I guess it doesn't surprise me. And they both worked on the X-Files. Yeah, they might have just thought it worked better as a film, having a feature length running time so that they could really do different things with it. Maybe they just thought it didn't really fit the X-Files style of story. I don't know. But I can see how it would work as an X-Files episode. Trying to escape the town never goes well in horror movies. Yeah, some people. Space Ranger. My best friend I tend to talk to once or twice a month. Um, she's expecting her first baby soon, which is exciting. Um, Couple of other people. She's the only one I talk to on the phone, but other people, I talk to online and stuff, or I text them. I've got a friend locally who I tend to go pictures with sometimes. Not long, about like 5, 10 minutes. Quite a short film. You should check it out if you can find it. Yeah, about 7 minutes. Holy shit. Oh, hi Cindy. How are you? It's great. I love this movie. It's a favourite of mine. It's no Lep in the Hood, but then what is, really? What, any more than he hated the others? I don't know what's wrong with that boy. Does he have no sense of fun? I need to watch that stream back actually, just for his reactions. That sounds great. I look forward to their review. I sort of have a feeling that Tim's gonna go higher with each Leprechaun film. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gave that one like a 9 out of 10 or something. Which will drive Pete nuts. Yeah, I think I will. I need to get back into them. It's sort of ironic then Pete did it on a stream the same week I did. So you've watched it twice in a week. And no doubt you got even more second time around. Because it's layered like that, of course. Can't it be done? Have you seen this movie before, Cindy? The end, baby. Yeah. I've got the Criterion just to show off. Need to watch the features. It would make a good double bill with Night of the Living Dead. You should definitely do that on the double bill. You can see the inference on Lynch as well. Not a bad double bill though today of films, because I watched The Addams Family earlier, just for contrast. It is enjoyable as ever. Probably going to watch Addams Family's Values tomorrow. They're both on Netflix. And I don't care what people say. I enjoy those movies. So screw the snobby critics. No, not really. They're a bit pricey. I mean, if I happen to get one, it's based on the movie, really. And they are nice additions, and you got special features and stuff, but no, I don't go out of my way to collect them just so that I've got the numbers. Just so happens I got that because I like Carnival of Souls. Okay, so that's the stream. I'm gonna shoot off now. Like I said, the next movie stream should be Final Destination 3, which I think should be coming up later this week at some point. But probably do another stream before then as well. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for dropping in. Take care. Good night.